Brace yourself, sports and music fans, because every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Arizona time is GO time. Introducing one of the hottest, most entertaining, and downright addictive podcasts you'll ever need. PD&J was good today. Hosted by none other than J-Dub the King and Pocket. These two dynamic personalities will keep you on the edge of your seat with their unique blend of humor, storytelling, and knowledge of sports and entertainment. And you know what makes it even better? They're live on YouTube and Facebook, so you can join the conversation and be a part of the action. We're always on the lookout for awesome guests to join us on the show. So if you think you've got what it takes to hang out with J-Dub the King and Pocket, then slide into our inbox at J-Dub the King. That's JDUBBTHAKING. And let's make some magic together. So what are you waiting for? You don't want to miss a single episode. See you on Wednesday.
Are you a business owner or someone looking for more ways and avenues to advertise and promote? Look no further. Contact us today for an advertisement. Email PD&J Media Productions LLC at gmail.com for more info. Promotions are everything. What are you waiting for? Hey you.
Me?
Yes, you.
What up?
Are you ready to take your brand to the next level?
Hell yeah!
GLM Designs can help you with just that.
Word?
From laptop skins,
You lying?
promotional flyers,
Yo, son!
promo videos,
I need that!
OBS Twitch overlays and backgrounds,
Hey, yo, let me get that!
professional one-sheets, and so much more.
Oh my god.
Please visit our
I'm on
website,
it right now!
GottaLoveMeWorld.com today to check out our designs.
Got it!
Follow us on social media at Gotta Love Me World.
Follow it!
GLM Designs are here to take care of all your graphic needs.
What's good, folks? What is good? You know what it is. It's brand new week, brand new Wednesday, brand new episode of PD&J. What's good today? What up, folks? I'm your host, Jay.
All I gotta say is we're back
Again.
again.
So, overall, how has your summer been? Now that everything seems to be coming to an end, as far as summertime goes.
It's yet to be seen how the summer's been. How's it going? It's been going. It's been going. Yeah, it's been going.
Okay.
How about you?
Same. It's just been hot this year, and I think we all across the United States can agree this has been one hell of a summer.
Yeah, well, it is what it is, right? We gotta go forward. Don't lean back though. Here we go again, folks.
What's good, folks? What's good? Is the audio better? Let us know. Anyway,
Show some love if you can hear us. Show some love if you can't hear us.
hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button.
But we're gonna try and move on. No. Okay. We'll try it one more time.
Hey! How's it now?
Oh yeah. Okay. Give us a minute. We're gonna go out like we did a couple weeks ago and come back in.
Hey folks, how you doing today? Those that are still with us, we're having some technical difficulties. Our apologies in regards to that. We just came out and came back in. Let us know if you can still hear us.
I'll try one more thing. Bear with us. Sorry about that.
All right, folks, we're having some technical difficulties, but we're back.
If you do me a favor, if you can hear what we're saying, put your finger in your nose. It's still technical difficulty. Might help. I've seen other things work.
I have no words right now. I seriously have no words right now.
We might have to fight through this, guys. All right, how do we sound now?
So we just gonna have to end the broadcast.
We're fine.
It's good now?
Yeah, we're good.
How's that now? All right. Bet. We're back on. Welcome, folks. Welcome, folks. Welcome to a brand new episode of PD&J What's Good Today.
I ain't doing the damn intro again.
I'm doing it again.
No,
I'm doing it again. They couldn't hear us the first
if they
time.
couldn't hear me, we're snap, crackle, pop. They don't need to hear us now.
I'm your host, Jay.
I'm not doing it again.
Yes, you are.
I'm not doing it again. You know how much memory it took up for me to say that? Now I got to go back and rewind and say what I got to say, what I did say when I said what I said.
Exactly.
Oh, man. Come on now. Come on. What are y'all up to? Y'all, we haven't seen y'all in
2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks. As you can see, I'm a little hyped.
in a month of Sundays. And Wednesdays. Actually, it'd be Wednesdays. We don't do Sundays. But it's been a month of Wednesdays.
Oh, my God. Anyway, folks, I hope your past 2 weeks have been great.
The pastor? Who's pastor?
I said the past 2 weeks.
You said pastor.
You know what? Don't make me get my cousin over here.
Hey, let him show up in the upper room because I got something for him. Luckily, I ain't got a hat on today. I'll send the call out.
Well, folks, we're going to get right into it. I know there's been a lot that's been going on in the past 2 weeks, but we're going to focus on one big subject today. And that subject today is going to be the Montgomery, Alabama brawl. The Slabernack. As a matter of fact, I think
the brawl that called them all.
I think we actually have a special guest today. Actually, as a matter of fact.
Actually, special guest, it's a cousin of a relative that was actually there.
A cousin of a relative.
And I mean, spot on there. I mean, all right, he's itching to get in the show, y'all. Come on over here. Come on over. Bring yourself on out. Oh,
what's going on?
What is going on with you today? I'm glad you can make it. I know you said you're the cousin. So, what? I mean, anything you wanted to bring to the table?
Oh, he kind of hostile. I'm kind of holding him back. He got a lot of aggression right now.
You need to chill out, man. We're all on the same team. You brown, I'm brown. Come on now.
Oh,
we all brown up in here. I didn't. Nobody wearing a hat, so you can calm down. Just sit right there. We got you. Don't.
Oh my God.
Don't act up.
So about the brawl, it was
funny, fascinating.
Well, he's not a Bears fan. He already told me that he wasn't a Bears fan.
Oh, stop it already. Stop.
Well, he did.
We're not even in season yet.
Well, kind of. Preseason started last week.
My apologies, Mike. He has no filter right now.
It's him. It ain't me. It's him.
Anyway, so what did y'all think about the brawl? I know right now everybody has seen it. They've seen the memes of it. They've seen.
See, I don't want to call it the brawl. I want to call it Royal Rumble without the jungle. I want to call it Summer Slam in Alabama.
I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. I'm just going. Show's over, folks. Thank you. Mike said it was priceless. What was priceless?
It was standing room only.
Hey, all I know is as soon as some brothers got the back call, it was on. It was on.
You had Aquaman. You had the Avengers. You had
My man literally swam in the river. But shouts out to I can't think of his name. His name came across, but I can't think of his name right now. But he literally swam across the river. Shouts out to you. There's a rumor going around that you lost your job, but I'm hoping that that's not true.
Yeah, as far as I know, he didn't, because the captain on the ship went to bat for everybody. He went to bat for everybody. But I tell you what.
Now, do you really what's disturbing the peace?
Folks, I want you to understand something. I got to break this down because a lot of them didn't understand. If people start quoting Ludacris,
move it.
Uh-oh. That's all I got to say. Uh-oh.
Or Lil Jon. Yeah.
If they start quoting down south lyrics, you're in trouble. Or as the late Bernie Mac would say, you in trouble. So you better get on the double.
I don't know what them folks was thinking. Like, can you tell me what they were thinking at it? I don't think you can even tell me what they were thinking.
I know what they were thinking. We white because we got it right.
You thought it was white privilege trying to be at its finest.
Oh, they got privilege. They are privileged. They're very privileged.
Yeah, I had a privilege of an ass whooping.
Anytime the police didn't come to defend you.
So and there was 5 people that was arrested. Now, we talk about my man with the chair. All right. He did get arrested. However,
well, actually, the thing is, he got arrested the day of and then let go. But they told him, we'll probably have to release you again. We're going to ask you to turn yourself in at a later date. Now, I want somebody to ask me, when in the history of black men have we ever seen that happen to? Never.
And let's talk about what my man got arrested for. He got arrested for disturbing the peace.
Oh, you took the fun out of it. I was going to make them try and figure it out. No, he get arrested for using assault with a weapon. He didn't. They arrested
deadly weapon.
What he said? Oh, he said no. That's his plastic cousin. He don't hit like he do.
Okay.
You sure? I mean, it looked like it hurt. I mean, I saw some pictures of when she got put in jail. It looked like her nose was messed up. I don't know if that was a real picture or not, but I don't know. Can we get your cousin on the phone? No. We can't get his cousin on the phone.
I don't know why. He just wanted to be here so he didn't get fined.
I mean, we ain't gonna find him. We'll find a place for you to sit.
He found the piece. So,
oh, what's up, Jay Boogie? Let us know how it is in Texas, man.
Oh, South Texas. What part of Texas? You know?
It's close to Dallas. I know that.
Okay.
I can tell you that much.
Dallas, Fort Worth. So, a lot to dissect from that Montgomery ball, or slobber knocker is what I like to call it. Old boy threw up the hat thinking, did he think that this would end up being the sign?
No, that's just all right. So maybe you've not had many brawls in your day.
Oh, I've had a couple, but not what you may think of.
Now, Usually when the hat goes up, that's to let them know you ain't playing them. Now, my whole thing is I usually don't throw my hat up because I don't want to lose my hat. But then also, if you knock my hat off, that turns into a whole different situation. That once.
Oh yeah, that's a given. That's a given.
That's a whole different thing.
So, but like I said, my main question was, do you think that he made it as knew it was going to be a gesture of a sign? No. Oh, J Bud said it's hot as fuck in Texas. Okay, salute. It's hot as fuck here too, bro.
Yeah, we got a little humidity.
He said the heat's disrespectful.
No, what's disrespectful is that chair didn't say excuse me.
And here's the thing: she was just sitting there, already got her ass whooped. Not just minding her business.
No, she was not. She was not.
She was licking her wounds,
bro.
Then the chair.
I know how you want to over dramatize it, but she was still talking shit all up in the middle.
Licking her wounds.
She was still talking crap all in the middle of it. So therefore, she got baptized
in the name of the chair. The chair.
In the name of the chair, the holy chair. In the baptismal chair.
You've been baptized and blessed. Hallelujah.
She's Cheranotomy. 1369. You're unlucky.
Oh my God. This dude. Now, let's talk about it. White folks.
I'm not going to say white folks. I want to say people in general. You pick the side. Let's actually know what. Let's talk about those particular white folks because there's something else.
That's where I was getting at.
You just said white folks, and
but you didn't let me finish though.
You're not in TV. Stop being dramatic. Let's not be dramaticize it. We're going to dramatize. We're going to dramatize. Let's over dramatize.
There's this certain group of white folks that's out there. I want to call them the privileged few that really think that it was the security guard's fault for doing his job.
Well, again, that's where you're wrong. He's not a security guard. I'm glad you said that. There's a miscommunication that this guy was a security guard. He was not. He was first mate on the boat. He was the captain's first mate. So therefore, he's not a security guard. If the captain goes down, he's the next man responsible on that boat. So let's get that straight right here. And the reason why I say that because everyone's guided this man as calling him a security guard. He is not a security guard. The captain asked him to go on land and move that boat since they didn't want to lift the pontoon. They didn't want to listen. He was told by the captain to go move the pontoon.
Well, I didn't read that, so I'm not going to sit back and contradict that. But
we can look it up right now.
What I am saying, either way it goes, no matter what the man's job title was, he was sent to do a job, and he was doing his job. He did ask in a respectful way from the video. It didn't look like it was that at the beginning. It didn't look like it was confrontational or should have gotten as confrontational as where it got to. But they still want to put this man in an aspect like it's his fault for doing what he was told to do. I don't agree with that. So those are the ones that I'm talking to.
I ain't got nothing to say to him but this. You want to look at the video, you're trying to talk from a peaceful way. They were already asked over the intercom several times to move and they didn't. So him going over there, it looked like he didn't explain anything. It looked like he just said, you were asked to move it, you didn't. I'm doing it for you. That's literally what it looked like to me. It didn't look like it was this, how are you trying to make it up? He was trying to be all nice about it. It was already beyond nice. And they've disrespected this captain on the ship more than once. This is not the first time he's disrespected.
Correct. So why would they make it seem like it's this man's fault?
Because it's easy to make it. You got to remember, it's easier to point at that guy than it is to look at the captain who actually asked him to. Would he do
is
that?
It the captain's fault?
It goes back to the people at the pontoon. That's whose fault it is.
That's where I'm getting at. And there's our supporters of the people that own that pontoon boat that said
there's always going to be supporters because they don't want to look at what was wrong. Because if they look at it if you want to look at it what it was, if you want to look at it without saying pontoon, without saying boat, a white guy asked a black guy to do him a favor to move something. The other white people got offended because the black guy was moving it. Was it because of his race? More than likely it was. That's what it boils. That's nobody wants to say it. I'll say it. Fine. I'll say it. That's what it boils down to. But nobody wants to talk about the white guy that told the black guy to do it. They want to talk about the black guy actually doing it. Nobody wants to talk about that.
There was a meme that I saw. That's kind of, it's funny, but it's true. Because the stereotypes of how they label us.
Yeah, you can't swim. What was the other one?
We can't.
We can't unite together.
No, so what the meme was all like? It
mentioned about how black people don't unite.
No, but what it says is that there's stereotypes that I was misled to believe. Black people do know can be able to unite together, and black people do know how to swim.
Many of black people know how to swim. You know what it was? When we grew up, they throw us in the water, says
Swim.
sink or swim.
Yep.
There was no such thing as taking lessons. The lessons was getting thrown in the water.
But it's just it's just funny to me still, the disrespect and the classifications that's still going on. We've seen that, like I said, there's so much to dissect from that situation that happened with the aftermath and everything else like that. It's just it's a lot. You understand what I'm saying? And it's just funny to me that after all of that, we still don't get the respect.
I'm not seeing what you're saying with that.
Okay. So
Because we didn't get respect, then how did the guy with the chair get such a light?
that's a very good point. I think
How was he the only one being processed for anything, and all the other people that were involved that helped him out?
so.
So if we
And
weren't
I'm
getting
glad
respect,
that you brought
no,
that
let me finish. Let me finish. If we weren't getting any respect, then everybody from both sides would be in jail. If that was the actual thing you wanted to say, we're not getting respect. When you say you're not getting respect, no, you're not getting the respect that you want to see. That's what you're trying to say.
Correct.
Which I don't know what you want to see, because as far as I'm concerned, the fact that he got to serving the peace when he could have gotten assault, he could have gotten so many charges thrown at him, and he didn't.
What did the white people get
So
as far as their charges? Because there was 4 of them that got arrested, right?
it was 4 of them. Yeah, the 4 ones that were there,
And-
the 3 guys and the woman.
Yeah. So what did they get charged with? Do you know?
Something more severe than what he got charged with.
But do you know?
From what I understand, it was assault of not a federal. I think they said a federal officer or something like that. There's assault in there. There's a couple of charges out there. I remember the assault was specific front and center. 2 different types of assault. But also now they're getting. There's other things that are coming out about him where maybe now this is really considered a hate crime. That's the next thing that's coming out.
I was reading about that, and I don't know if this on the state level if they're going to pick it up.
Well, the thing is, there's pressure on them to do it, and
There's pressure on the feds to step in too.
it's pressure
because
it's pressure on them.
It's so publicized.
It's a pressure. No, it has nothing to do with publicity. It's because of their history with black people. Because even in their restaurant or their market, apparently it says black people are not allowed or something. I don't know the whole gist of it, but I know several people have posted it. That one, there's a white guy with a hood on in their grocery store shopping.
I was reading
and
an
then-
article that they had a Klan meeting earlier that day.
Yeah.
So a Klan rally, and they were wearing hoods. So that could explain why
it's being considered a hate crime.
Yeah. Okay.
But then also, apparently there was something about they went to a hospital where it was mostly black employees. They called the police, and the
So
thing was
Mike,
played.
what do you mean by all misdemeanor? Are you referring to the 4 white individuals?
Yeah,
that got
that's what he's talking
arrested?
about.
Okay, so they got misdemeanor charges as well.
But the thing, theirs are more serious, of course, than his. That's the problem. That's what it boils down to. But now with all, they gave them with that because they're trying to push that narrative of the hate crime, and there's so much history behind that. Those people, those friends or whoever they are to each other.
Now we talk about the charges and everything like that. Let's go back and talk about. Did you see how it's funny, but it's not funny? The cops that were there on scene, they took their
They're on
time.
lunch break, man. You can't tell me that.
They took their time to get there. Like literally, after watching the video, they just walking. And then if memory serves me correct, there was 2 people that was fighting, and the cop just literally walked up to them, pepper sprayed them, and walked off. Like they didn't even want to deal with it. And I think they saw what happened, and they're like, "You got what you deserve. You literally got what you deserve. This is too much paperwork."
We got to do some paperwork. We ain't trying to do all that.
Yeah. But needless to say, that's the subject that will continue to be dissected. There's going to be conspiracies that's going to come out about it. It's just
conspiracies. That word right now is so overused and beaten. That's just as bad. That word is abused, just like anything else around now. Like and the reason why I'm glad you meant the word conspiracy, because I'm going to go somewhere else with Maui. That I'm hearing all this conspiracy about that, how Oprah's land was untouched, but nobody's taking a picture of Oprah's land like they did the church that was untouched. But they want people. Here's what I want people to understand with conspiracies. If you come with me a conspiracy, bring some photos, bring some pictures, bring some video or something. Stop saying things and start showing. That's the problem with people on social media. They will sit there and they will tell you something over and over and over again, and then not show you a thing to prove it. And what's happening? You've got the ones like, oh, you know what? When the moon went up that night, it was green. And I understand that a green moon means there's a conspiracy over in Maui because there was a laser from the sky that hit just right. And then the hurricane was man-made. So that's why it burned up all. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
I haven't heard that one. Okay.
But you see what I'm talking about? They get extreme. It's not about what you hear. It's about the extremes of it. There's so much extremity with that word. I don't even want to use the word conspiracy anymore.
What's extreme is the whole entire.
I'm about to say what's extreme is how many times she got hit with that damn chair.
No, what? So just to switch subjects real quick, though. An entire police department resigned in a small city in Minnesota.
Yeah, that's right. I sent you that this morning.
Yeah,
right?
you did. I want to talk about that.
So here's what happened, folks. So apparently, the police department in this little town in Minnesota, their last day of work is actually passed. It's July. The 24th. It's the 24th, the last day of work.
I thought it was the 14th.
No, it's the 24th. It's the 24th. Everybody's last day.
Oh, okay.
Now, and actually,
I
it was July 24th.
I thought
so it's already passed.
I thought it was the 14th of August was their last day.
No, it's the 24th. And the reason why I know that, because now the state police have to support that area, that small city. But here's the thing. Now, let's understand this. They were being paid $22 an hour, which is at least $6 less than anyone average in the state of Minnesota in any small town. And they were willing to put up with it, but to a certain point. What I mean by that certain point is they were just about to have a meeting on reviewing what they were being paid. Well, the scuttlebutt came out was they still were going to make the $30. So guess what they said is it's not worth us putting our lives on the line in this small town. So they're all quit, and they're all going to other agencies. The other agencies wanted these guys, and they were going to pay them more money. So guess what? They're going to other agencies now.
That's a lot to dissect from as well. I think it was more than just pay involved, bro. I think it was a combination of a couple of different things that made that happen, and the pay was just the icing on the cake.
Here's what I think it was. Remember in Minnesota after the kneeling with George Floyd? This is still Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
The police don't feel like there's anybody on their side right now. They feel that their union can't protect them because of what happened. Because they understood the first officer getting how many years and all like that, but now everybody else behind him also got charged and lost their job. They're not understanding that. There's nobody standing with them because they're supposed to be a team blue, right? That's what it is, team blue.
Well, if you got corruption in your own house, you know the saying.
Oh, it wasn't just him. They just made an example of it.
Yeah.
That's why I think that small town, that police department was probably being investigated for other stuff we'll never know about.
That's where I was hoping you would go with that. I was hoping that you would go somewhere.
And they felt the heat.
And think that, because the first time that I read the article, I didn't read the same article you sent me. I went back and looked at a couple of different articles. So I was reading the article from the Washington Post. There was speculations that they were being investigated over certain incidences of misuse of power.
Force, misuse of force.
Yeah, from 5 years ago.
Because of what happened to George Floyd, now it's becoming, well, there's other people that died in custody, especially in this this small town in Minnesota. So what's the best way to do it? The investigation is still happening. You're not going to stop it by quitting. And that's what I don't understand. If you've already done wrong, it ain't going to stop it. That's like you failed a test in school, right?
Yeah.
You try to hide it from your parents. It ain't going to hide for long. Yeah, it may take a while to come out, but when it comes out, you're gonna have repercussions to pay, regardless.
Yeah.
So running from it, your best bet, if you knew about it and you didn't do anything, your best bet is to be the first one to come forward. Because guess what? If you don't, now you're gonna be grouped with everybody else. The same punishment they're gonna get, you're gonna get a similar punishment. Maybe not the same, but you're gonna get something similar.
Now, I'm glad that you brought that up. False accusations. Do you think that the person that gave that false accusation should do the same penalty punishment for what they accuse that individual of doing?
Remember, we talked about that.
We did talk about
that a few times.
And I'm asking for a reason because I want to bring up. I know we didn't talk about this, but this Tory Lane situation is kind of.
So here's the thing
It's
about Tory
bugging me, man.
So here's my thing with Tory Lanez. People keep saying he got convicted of shooting Megan.
I don't think so.
Go look at what he was convicted of. They never convicted him of shooting Megan. They convicted him of having an illegal firearm, discharging a firearm, because he did shoot in the air, and everybody did say he did that. But he never got convicted of shooting Megan in the foot.
Everybody says that, but when they tested him for GSR, they
didn't find him.
They didn't find no.
But no, remember, him, and everybody else admitted in the car that he did shoot in the air. They admitted that in the case. If you want, go back and look at it. That's why they found him guilty of that. But they didn't find him guilty of shooting her in the car. Because
what bugs me about the case is that her best friend at the time, who I'm just gonna put it out there, Meg, I think your friend shot you, and y'all just covered it up and did a damn good job at doing it. But for this man to spend 10 years of his life behind the walls, I think that was an overreach. I really do. I really, really do.
I mean, he's from Canada, right? Why not just send him back to Canada?
They're going to do that after he serves his 10 years.
They should just send him back.
Exactly. He can still do music. He just can't tour in the United States.
You can still release music here, but you have to do how they do with the video hologram.
Yeah,
that's what they got to do his concert.
But it just bugs me that man got 10 years. It really does.
I've been trying to dissect why he got 10 years, and I still don't. Yeah. There's people that do worse. And if you can't figure out what's worse, then I guess it's what do they call it? Your definition of worse.
I'll just say it. There's pedophiles out there that get less time. Oh, y'all got quiet on me.
There's rapists that do less time. There's a lot of people out there that do less time.
Manslaughter gets less time than 10 years. Somebody could do what, 3 to 5 on the manslaughter charge?
You weren't guilty of shooting her. You didn't get found guilty of that, and that's what people keep pointing to lay their laurels on. What I want to say is this about that. Just like people keep saying R. Kelly's in jail for for pedophilia. He's not in jail for that. They didn't convict him of that. Look at what he's convicted for. RICO charges. What kind of kingpin is R. Kelly? Besides the kingpin of R&B.
Kingpin of that. Oops, my bad.
So, and what's funny, I say this in a facetious way. What's funny to me about all of this? Everyday people are in the front debating this. The Facebook lawyers, the social media lawyers are all online debating this. Oh, he should have got this. Oh, they should have did this. If that's the case. Why didn't you prosecute? Where's your degree?
Are we still talking about R. Kelly or Tory Lanez?
I'm just talking about in general with both
in
of
general?
them. With both of them. If you know all this stuff that they missed, why aren't you prosecuting? You want to know why? Because you're not as smart as them.
And I don't think Tory did it after his statement. His statement, when he released a statement after being convicted, and he says, I will not apologize for something that I did not do. That right there kind of put the icing on the cake for me, because at the end of the day, majority of people that look at 10 years, you can't get prosecuted again for it.
Well, you got to remember what he did. He did apologize. but he didn't apologize for what people think he apologized for. That I apologize for what happened.
For
what happened to Megan.
Yeah, putting you
in this situation.
Yeah, that's his words exactly. I apologize for putting you in that situation.
Another rumor that could be out there. I'm just throwing it. People saying her friend shot her. What happened if she shot herself?
I think her friend shot her. There was no gunshot residue on Tory Lanez right after that, but her friend had gunshot residue.
I thought there was gunshot residue on Megan too.
And that means that if that's the case, y'all two were sitting next to each other. For both y'all to have gunshot residue, y'all both are sitting next to each other.
One of y'all did it. One of
y'all did it. Facts.
Just people. I like what Mike said right here. Because people believe everything from everywhere. What gets me is when I think about this, the truth is so lost in everything.
The truth can be skewed because there's he say, there's she say, and there's the truth down the middle.
And sometimes it's not even in the middle. Sometimes the truth is nowhere near both sides there. And that's another thing people got to understand. Sometimes the truth ain't nowhere came out of either mouth. It's actually sitting right there in front of you, but you can't see it because guess what? You're so pro Megan. You're so pro Tory Lanez. You're so pro R. Kelly. You're so pro the victims. You're so pro all of this, but you don't look at what's right in front of you. And when it passes you.
That is very true. And at the same time, your truth and my truth could be two different truths. We could be looking at the same situation, right? But how we describe that situation, when we tell that story, somebody's story is going to be off. If not, both stories are going to be off, right? Because your truth and my truth are different.
Exactly right. And people don't understand it. And you know what's funny? In this society, you got to either agree or disagree. You can't even come to an agreement. You just got to agree to disagree. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You can't even come to it. You got to agree to disagree. And then guess what? That just sits there and it stews. And then you're going to sit there and look at that person.
And blow up one day.
And like, you remember? Bro.
That was 5 years ago.
You still on that? You know what I'm saying? You still on that? You still want to? Okay. Well, how about this? Wait, I didn't know that bothered you. Oh, it bothered me. I just let it slide. But why didn't you say something? Because our friendship was more important. Or you hear something towards that. Our relationship was more important.
Or something along like, I just didn't care, but since you want to bring up old petty shit, I could just bring this. See, don't play with me on the petty game.
No, we're not being, man, chill out. We're not being real. Ooh, he jumped up on him. You saw him? Try to jump up back there.
See, you can't play with me with the petty game. I learn from the best. I'll be just as petty with you.
See, my whole thing, I don't
like it.
I don't
like it. I don't want to be that dude.
The way my brain works
and the way that my mental is set up,
it's not good to do
for anybody.
It's not. Now, mind you, I would sometimes what I've gotten old enough to do is I'll let you get your word across. And something what I've gotten to do now. You see me do that, and I'm listening. You're talking to me. That doesn't mean you won the argument. Yeah. That just means I am more mature enough to not continue arguing because what I have to say.
Or I'm at a peaceful place in my life to where I just don't need the drama. I'll just walk away from you. You could be in the middle of saying the sentence, and I'll just walk away. If you see me do that, you better just leave me alone. At that point, just leave me alone because all bets are off if you continue at that point. You understand what I'm saying? And the thing about it, going back to this Megan Thee Stallion situation, I think that there was something brewing between her and her friend, and that's why I really.
What did you forget about? He slept with both of them.
That part, and so I think that something was gonna go down. Something was going to go down that night regardless. And they got into it. I believe them two got into it, and one of them picked up Tory's gun and shot him.
Because I think when you got to think, what as we say, when alcohol gets involved, when the spirits get involved, i.e. the alcohol spirits, for those of y'all don't understand what I'm saying, that's why it's called, when you go to some place, it's called wine and spirits. or spirits sold here or something. They don't say alcohol because alcohol is so much, right? Or they'll say liquor.
Liquor. No, I'm playing.
But something came out. I mean, something definitely came out in the car. What it was, honestly, I don't care. What I do care is that you got a man serving 10 years that should not be serving 10 years. That's what I will say.
I don't know what to say at that point. Like I'm at a loss for words for him.
I'm glad you said saying something at that point because that takes me down a whole road with our favorite community.
Not my favorite. That might be your favorite. Damn,
I say our favorite, and again, I'm using my favorite word of the day is facetious. Our favorite community. So here's what I want y'all to look at. I want you to understand something. We're at a societal point, a very critical point in society, that we can either A, accept everything and bite our tongue. There's a couple options. We have a couple options. That's the first option. Second option, we can speak in these type of environment, social media, and be very careful and walk on eggshells. Or we can be, you know what? I'm speaking my mind. You take it how you want. And either way, we got repercussions. What I mean by that is, currently, the woman athlete of the year was born a man.
You beating around the bush. I'm just gonna say it like this.
No, I know. I'm. This
You're
is
trying to paint the picture. You just take it too long.
this is the first one. Second one. Swimming championship won by son that was born a man. Female spokesperson for a beer, born a man. Female spokesperson for a bunch of stuff. I'm sorry. Celebrating a woman in the White House who was born a man. So that's the first woman in that department. That's not a fucking woman. It's a man.
I'm just gonna say it like this. And
Enough is enough. That's what I have to say. Enough is enough. You know what, Alphabet? I love y'all because you're fighting for what you want. Actually, you're not even fighting. You're just asking, and you're getting it.
I'm glad that you mentioned that because now you're going to where I wanted to talk about.
Where we've been fighting for things that we have not even gotten since we started fighting for it.
Now, let me just say this. I'm glad you mentioned that, but I'm sure you can agree with me when
Nope, I'm not going to agree.
I say this. If people of color, because I hate using the word African American, I hate using the word black.
Which we can talk about why the African American later, but yeah.
I hate using those terms, but so I'm just gonna, for timing purpose, I'm just gonna use persons of color. If we can unite the way that this alphabet community could, and stop.
If we can unite the way they did in Alabama.
I can't with you. I can't. I'm trying to have a serious moment.
I'm not being funny. You're looking at it from the fight. No, I'm looking at it where they were tired of all the BS.
Okay, I'll give you that. Yeah.
They were tired of looking at all of us getting beat
down for no damn reason.
And then people getting off.
Exactly. So, okay, for that aspect, yeah, if we can unite the way that, and I'm not saying everything needs to be a melee or a brawl or going to mayhem or whatever case may be.
But if so, make sure you give us a call because I love to commentate. I'm just saying. You'll get free media.
But the way, if we can be able to unite and stand for our values, our morals, the way that this alphabet community is, I'm not saying that they're all wrong, but the radical ones that's out there, I'm just saying, like, if we can stand united, maybe we'll get what we want or what we deserve or what we've been asking for. It's just common decency.
You know what the problem, and you know what the problem is why we're not united? Here's the reason why. Black people are so big on downing each other.
Boom. Right there. Right there. You spoke on it.
And what do I mean by that? Oh,
Hey,
dang he light. Dang he dark. Oh, look at his shoes. Oh, look at his hair. Oh, look at that. Do you see other cultures doing that? Yes, you do it, but not to the extent that we do. To the point you girls are in a club, a gentleman walks up to you just to talk to one of you, and then all of you got to talk about him.
True.
What is it? What are you accomplishment? What is you? I'm glad to see you women are united together, but you are not supporting the one fellow who wants to talk to one of your homegirls. Regardless of how you feel about him, you don't know what he's gone through. You don't know what he's doing in his life. You just look and see what he's like. Ooh, his nails are dirty. So what? He may have came straight from his construction job as a supervisor right to the club making 6 figures. But guess what? All you see is what's on the outside. I thought it was what's on the inside that counts. Isn't that what you taught? What's on the inside, not the outside?
They don't teach that no more.
And if that's not, and to his point, damn right about it. There's a lot of people that don't teach that. You need, and if you're projecting, another thing I do know, that people project themselves onto others. You want to fill them in with that?
Stop pushing your agenda, folks. And I can express this so much. Even with parents, sometimes. I'm not going to say all parents, not majority parents, but there are some that are out there, and this might ruffle some feathers, that push an agenda that is not meant or in purpose for your child. Don't go there.
You hear what you just said?
No, I'm not.
Just leave it alone.
Yeah.
But so like, well, all right, okay. We'll use the example. So the example that our special guest said is when he was just a sheet of aluminum, he wanted to be a bunch of cans.
Shut up.
But his parents decided he should be a chair.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's a good example. I don't understand. I understand what you're saying. I get it. You live in. You want to be recycled? Is that what you're saying? We can make it happen.
No, that was not what I was talking about.
But actually, you know what? No, it is. There's kids out there that their parents put. So say, and here's a great example I've seen, and a lot of people have seen.
Mm-hmm.
So say in school you were a good athlete, but not a great athlete.
Okay.
So then, actually, let me dumb it down a little bit more. You were a good football player. You were a little slow. You were a little bigger, or you just didn't click. You loved the game, but you just not could play it the way you loved it. So what ends up happening? You have a boy. Yes. Oh, he looks like he's going to be strong. He's going to be better than you. He's going to be taller than you. He's going to be stronger than you. So now what do you start doing when the milestones they show you at the doctor's office? He's in the 86th percentile or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm going to start training him now. Then you start pushing that onto that child.
And that's not what he wants. Might not
Exactly.
want to be.
You've never asked him if he wanted to play sports. You never asked him if he wanted to play football. Maybe he wanted to play baseball. Maybe he doesn't want to play sports at all. Maybe he actually wants to be the first child to go to college and become a doctor in the family. But you pushed your agenda on that child. So now that child, the older he gets, the more he does it, the more he hates it, the more he pushes back. Even if he's great at it, it doesn't matter because that's not what that child wants to do. That's what we mean by stop pushing the agenda on the child.
What about morals and values, Pocket?
They go out the door.
But what if you want to push certain morals and values that over time just evolved and you as a parent might not see it, but your kids have evolved from it?
When it comes to morals and values, here's a couple things to understand.
Certain ones would be instilled, right?
Exactly. By the time a child is about 5 or 6 years old,
they know right.
80% of their memory is formalized.
And they
80%.
know what's right and what's
exactly.
wrong.
They know what is morally right and morally wrong. All right. What about that other 20%? When they get to them teenage years, that's the most dangerous years because the influence now goes outside of the house. Hopefully, the morals and the ways you've taught them of being right or how to identify what's right over what's wrong supersedes the peer pressure because it's going to come. It's going to come. Happens to all of us. It is going to come. Those are dangerous years. There's a lot of peer pressure going on right now to do fentanyl. There's a lot of peer pressure going on just to vape and things like that. But it depends on you as a parent.
Those that are on fentanyl, or if you know somebody that's doing fentanyl, popping them blues and stuff like that, try your
please
best.
get them help.
Yes, try your best, because from one addict to another, it's not healthy, it's not good, and you'll find yourself in an early grave. You really would. You really would.
So you guys be so careful, be so loving.
And if you got teenagers in the house, please talk to them about it. Don't be scared to have these type of conversations, because that's what you need to do as a parent. Let's just get the shyness or the timidness and all.
Attack it.
Just get it. You got to attack it head on, because if you don't, you're going to fall victim to it.
Here's what I want you guys to understand. As a parent, you have a job, right? To get that job, you were scared to first get that job, weren't you? You were scared you weren't going to get it. You wanted the interview. You were shaky or whatever have you. I mean, some people. Actually, no, everybody has that little, even if you're confident, you have that little inkling in the back of your head. Man, what if this? What if that? Right?
I never did.
Everybody has the inkling in the back of their head. The what if? Well, even if we're confident, what if this happens? What if we have scenarios playing in our head, right? When it comes to this, the only scenario that should be in your head
is how to attack it.
No, if I don't have this conversation, my child's going to end up dead. Facts, y'all. If I don't have this conversation with my child, you cannot expect someone else to have a conversation that you should be having with your child. You should never expect that.
Don't let TV do it, because TV will brainwash kids into putting it in their head. Oh, it's almost like, you know how they say, don't do this, don't do that, don't touch this, don't touch that. It's going to make you want to find out more about it. So that's why you got to have that conversation. Because if you don't have that conversation, you're letting the public raise your child, and you don't want that to happen, because now you're going to have a thought or a stripper or a hustler or...
Actually, you know what? It's nothing bad about a hustle. There's people that are hustling and they're doing it the right way. So you can't say being a hustler is bad. If you're in sales, you're a hustler. I have to say that.
There are certain sales that are
no. And when I say sales, I'm talking about you're hired getting a W-2. Okay. That's what I say when I'm talking about sales. Some of y'all take that to a whole nother level. No, I am talking about you get a W-2. You get a paycheck from a professional. Professional. Yeah, professional. Yeah. No, I can't say that either. Never mind. You have an actual job where you get a W-2. And you pay taxes. You're a hustler. You hustle every day. Matter of fact, if
there's certain hustles you could do without a W-2 that's legit.
You're trying to get audited, huh?
I'm just saying.
You got to understand. Please, folks, have the conversation with your kids. It's going to be a tough conversation.
It's going to be. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's not easy. Even having conversation, should we say birds and bees?
There's a book for that now.
I don't want to read that, because there's certain books. Oh, yes. I'm glad that you brought that up. So, those that have kids in school, especially elementary school, that's in the younger elementary school ages, please be mindful of the curriculum that's being taught. And I am talking about from kindergarten to 6th grade. Please be careful of the curriculum that's being taught in the books that are being read to your kids, because some of them.
I'm going to put it to you this way. Parent-teacher night should be coming up, or already has come up for some families. Go. I know you may be getting off work late or whatever. Go to the parent-teacher night. Ask the questions. Because your kids, I ask my son, I think, every day just about, hey, what'd you do in school today? How was school? He tells me. My daughter, same thing.
You know, I asked my son that. You know what he says?
I don't know.
Nothing.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Forget.
You got to pull it out of them.
No, that's the thing. If you can't tell me one thing you got out of school, I'm like, oh, come here. Sit down. What did you do today? You ain't getting by with me that
part.
No.
That part.
Okay, go get your textbook. Let me see what's going on. Because you coming home telling me you don't know what you learned, that's a big problem. Especially when you get home.
Look, there was this one time where my son, God bless his heart, came home for a week straight. Nothing. Now keep in mind, he's taking foreign language classes now. So he's taking Spanish to be exact. So one day I quizzed him. Well, what's this word? What is this? What does this mean? This, that, and everything else. And he said it. So I said, oh, so you are learning something.
That right there. Thank you, Trulu. And I'm glad you said that. And that's true. And that's why it's important for you to go to the parent-teacher night. That's exactly why it's important.
Not only do they not want to talk about it, they want to decompress from their day because it's a lot of information.
But the thing is, if you consistently ask and you're getting the same answer, there's a problem. I mean, it could be something else there. That's why you take an active, just be active in your child's life. Because one, they may think, man, you're so nosy. That's what they're going to think. But in the long run, they're going to be glad you did.
Yeah.
They are going to be glad you did. Now, in saying that, my daughter tried out for the volleyball team and made it.
Congratulations.
Volleyball team.
Congratulations.
Like Betty Fairfax, home of the wait, don't tell me, y'all. Stampede. I got it. Stampede. That's their logo thing. The horse. She went from a Mustang to a Stampede.
My high school mascot was a Mustang.
Oh, God damn.
Huh. Well, folks, what an episode it's been. We didn't get a chance to get in sports this week, but we'll definitely make sure we touch on it next week because there's some great things.
Before we even get there, I forgot what I mentioned that for. Now, speaking of hustling, speaking of good hustle, reason why you're like, you how like you have an epiphany? Like, oh wait, there's a reason why I mentioned that, and it just went.
We had two other subjects. We
had two other subjects. It was like, shoot, I forgot
man.
about sports. But hey, I mentioned that because you know what? My daughter and her team are hustling right now. They're doing a cookie dough drive.
Get at me.
Holla at us. It's $20. They've got snickerdoodles.
Folks, just
M&M, oatmeal raisin, chocolate hunky chunky.
Chocolate what?
Hunky chunky, man.
What the fuck is a chocolate hunky?
Oh, man, that's what the hunks got the chunks, and you're ready to bunk.
What?
Get down.
You know what, folks?
It goes down in the chocolate chip.
It
goes down with the chocolate
chip. Thank you for tuning in this week. Make sure you tune in next week. We will be back next week. We will definitely have a show for you next week.
Oh, you know what? Coming up. We didn't forget you, Mike. I didn't forget you.
We got cookie dough. Oh,
we're gonna
football season. Yeah,
we're gonna do.
We got you.
A division a week. We'll do that. We'll do division win losses per week. We'll start with the NFC West. We'll start with that.
Why are you going to start with
home teams?
You know what? Until next week, folks. Stay blessed. Make sure you stay sharp. Keep your head on the swivel, and we'll see you next week. Love you, folks.